Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Raeann, but you can call me Ray. It has been so long since I've uploaded a video, since I've just filmed a video. That's a long story, so we're not going to get into that right now, but I'm back and I'm so excited because the first video that I'm doing after my kind of hiatus, if you want to call it that, is this video is going to be on this palette here. I don't even know how to do introductions anymore. My brain's just like, whoa, what am I doing? Today's video is going to be on the new JUVIA'S palette. This palette is called the Wahala palette. Look at how beautiful, look at how beautiful this is. The artwork and then even the font on here, I could literally stare at that all day. And this palette, before I get into everything, this palette is currently sold out, and I guess it was a limited edition palette. I don't know if they're even going to restock it. I hope they do, because I don't think a lot of people realized that it was going to sell out, that they weren't going to have the chance to buy it again. So I don't know if they are restocking it, but hopefully they will, since it is limited edition. It would be nice for the people who didn't get the chance to buy it originally to buy it. Maybe they could do it 1 or 2 more times. This is a 20 pan palette and it retails for $36, and look at how beautiful this is. I honestly think this whole color story is so gorgeous, super vibrant, super fun. Why am I saying super? Absolutely stunning. And there are a few glitters in here as well, which I know some people don't really like glitters. I have a love-hate relationship with them because I love them but hate them. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, I don't know. I like glitter, but sometimes I just feel like it's so oversaturated right now. Everybody's doing pressed glitters that it's kind of like, can we stop doing pressed glitters for a little bit? Anyways, the glitters in here look absolutely stunning. And I mean, just look at this color story though. Super pretty. And just in case you guys want to see the box, this is the box. Again, it's just kind of mirroring what is on the palette and what's inside the palette. But yeah, anyways, I don't know if you guys care about what boxes look like, but one thing I thought was kind of cool is this box is actually double the size. It was big enough so they could put the palette in bubble wrap and then put it in the box, which I feel is really smart because sometimes things aren't properly packaged and you get a palette and it's completely broken, which is not fun when that happens. So really thankful on how they packaged everything. Anyways, my hair looks super red right now, and it's not red, it's purple. Let's go ahead and get into the swatches. There are 20 shades in here. I'm not going to read the shade names, but we are just going to start this shade to this one, so all the way down the row. Start at this one, go all the way down, this one all the way down, and then this one and all the way down. Yeah, that green shade is absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, this is like a duochrome shade. I was not expecting that. Okay, that shade is really pretty. It's like a purpley green color. It's definitely coming off more green, at least from what I can see right now, but in the pan it actually looks purple. Now we're going into the second row. That one kind of looks like it has a shift too. And as expected, cannot see that on my arm. Ooh, that one's really pretty. All of these shimmers so far are absolutely stunning. And this is our first pressed glitter that we've encountered so far. Not really sure why I tried to fully swatch this out, because this is the pressed glitter, but that is a really pretty glitter though. I can definitely see myself wearing this at Sharks games. Just in case you guys wanted to know. Okay, so these are the first 2 rows. Super pretty so far. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off and then we'll go into the last 2 rows. Alright, and let's go ahead and get into the last 2 rows. Ooh, that's really pretty. One's a little patchy. Ooh, this mustard color though. As you can tell by my shirt, I love this color. That one came out pretty pigmented. And we have another pressed glitter. Wow. I mean, it's glitter, so of course it's gonna look beautiful, but... And the last pressed glitter, oh my god, this one looks... Look at this one too! So, this is everything. That last one kind of looks a little two-toned too, like a greeny, purpley, bluey, a little bit everything. So this is the last 2 rows. I do think that some of the mattes kind of performed a little patchy, but overall I feel like everything looks pretty promising so far. I'm gonna have a shit ton of glitter on me though. Probably shouldn't have tried to do those on my arm, but you know, it's fine. Like, I don't think you guys can actually see it, but I have a ton of glitter all over my arm now. I didn't really think that through. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start a look. Then I'll show you guys and walk you guys through on how to get it, and then we will talk about how I'm feeling about the palette so far. I'm super excited. I feel like there's so many different directions I can go that I honestly don't even know what direction I want to go in. Like, do I want to use a pressed glitter? Do I want to smear all the glitter all over my face? Do I want to avoid glitter and just do mattes? I'm not going to just do mattes because those shimmers looked amazing, so we're definitely going to work with those. But yeah, I'm really not sure what way I want to go with this. So I'm going to start a look and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. As you can tell, I lost a decent amount of my foundation because there is fallout, but I don't really know why I did my foundation or even attempted to do my foundation before putting eyeshadow on, because I'm just not that type of person. But anyways, this is a little look that we have going on so far. I did try a look before this, and I'm actually really excited and glad that I decided to start over because I'm really liking this look a lot better than the other. It wasn't anything to do with the shadows either, I just wasn't really liking the overall look, so I decided to start over. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm gonna start with this shade here, and then we're gonna go into this shade here to blend it out. Okay, so from here we're going to go into that more like hot pink shade and just kind of blend everything out. I don't think I actually formally said this, but we definitely moved. That's why everything looks a little bit differently. No idea what I'm going to do with this background, if I'm just going to leave it like this or if I'm going to change anything about it, add any decorations, probably add stuff behind me, but not actually do a background because it's not that big of a space. From here I'm going to take my NYX glitter primer and a flat brush and then just place this down where I want the shadow to go, kind of making a faux cut crease, which I have done a million times on here before. From here, I'm going to go into the shimmer shades that I used. So I'm just going to point to all of them in the order that I put them on. So the first shade, which is the one towards the front, is going to be this shade right here. Then I go into this shade here, so the darker green, and then follow up with this blue like duochrome purpley shade on the outer part. And what I usually do is I go in with my finger and then I kind of refine it with a brush as far as like shape and everything goes, which I think I'm probably just gonna cut out of this video because I've done that quite a few times on here. So I'm just going into all of the shades, blending them into each other. I feel like it's always easier for me to do that with my fingers. So I'm just going in order of what shades I showed you first. So lighter green, darker green, and then that duochrome. We have a nice little gradient going on. And then basically what I do is I just take my brush, actually used this e.l.f. brush, and then I will go into the colors and really like try to get the shape the way I want it. Did have to go into a smaller brush too. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of that off camera. After I kind of perfect the shape and get it where I want it to be, I'm gonna go back into this darker purpley like maroon shade, I guess. Yes, maybe. I'll go back into this shade here and just deepen up right here to really get the shape that I want. Finish this, come back to show you what the underneath is, and then I'll finish up my makeup and show you guys like the finished look and then kind of talk about the palette. So it looks a little bit more how I want it to now. Now let's go ahead and get into how I did the under eye. So pretty simple, we're just gonna go in with the brighter pink shade and then deepen it up with this shade here, and then with a little tiny, barely even there, I used a little bit of this on the outer part. And then for the inner corner, I actually did go into this shade here, so I believe this is called Envy. And I'll show you guys too, but I'll just kind of fast forward it because it's pretty self-explanatory, nothing too complicated. I'm getting this shadow on my nose, probably not something I wanted to do. So then go in to that darker, more maroony purpley shade. I think I said it was burgundy earlier. I honestly don't remember. It's not burgundy, though that just makes me want to watch Anchorman. Also, I've been watching How I Met Your Mother. We're like starting it from the beginning, which is actually something I never did. I have watched a lot of that show, especially just like whenever it was on TV, I would just kind of put it on. I was just one of those shows that I'd see and I'd be like, yep, I'm gonna watch this. But I never watched it fully from the beginning, and watching that also makes me want to watch Anchorman, just because every time it shows Robin, I just think of Anchorman. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go into that Envy shade, and I do take a tiny bit of that and run it underneath my brow bone as well. So a really pretty like iridescent shade with lots of purple and like blue hue to it, which is really pretty. It's definitely the better highlight shade in here because I mean, definitely you could use one of the shimmers for your inner corner, but a lot of the shimmers are actually more on the darker side, and there isn't really like a pearly highlight shade, so. But I do love a good iridescent highlight shade, inner corner, whatever you want to call it. Just doing this side because I definitely put more on this side. And then I just take a tiny bit, so just lightly dip into it and kind of tap off excess and just very lightly run that under. So I'm probably gonna go with like some sort of either green or pink for the like waterline, probably pink. I don't know who I'm getting, probably pink. But I'm gonna do that, finish up the rest of my makeup. I don't know if I'm gonna do lashes. It's like hotter than hell outside right now, and so in our new place we don't have central air and heating. It's like wall units, and there isn't a wall unit in this room, so it is kind of hot, especially with the light. So I don't know, I'm just not really feeling the whole lash thing right now, even though this look would look beautiful with lashes. It might need lashes, but am I going to do them? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of this look, and then we'll talk about the palette very briefly. Yeah. So I'm back. I'm so hot. It's just, this light, okay? This light. Ugh. So this is the finished look. Let's go ahead and talk about the palette. First of all, let's talk about this look. I just always love doing like pinks and purples and blues and greens together. I just think they look super pretty. Like I'm pretty sure I've done looks like this before a bunch of times, but I just love how they all look together. they just look so good. Anyways, let's just talk about the palette. We're going to do a very brief kind of rundown so far. I haven't used all of the shades. I don't even think I used half of them. But yeah, so let's just talk about everything so far. So the first thing I'll say is I did use one of the pressed glitters when I did the first look that I tried, and I didn't have any problems with that at all. I actually, in the other look, I used this shade and then put the glitter over top of it, and it looked really, really pretty. Again, I just didn't really overall like the look, but everything seemed to work just fine when I did that look. So I did use different shades in that, and I don't have any complaints about any of those. Everything seemed to work really well. One thing that I will say, so I have a bunch of JUVIA'S palettes, JUVIA'S Place palettes, so I really like their formula. I actually kind of like this style where they do more shades and the shades are smaller, but again, it's kind of cool in their 9-pan palettes how big the shadows are. But I do really like how colorful this palette is, how many different shades are in here, and I do actually like that you have the mattes and you have a duochrome or two, I think, and then some of the shimmers, like and glitters. Like, I like how it kind of does a little bit of everything, and everything's super vibrant, super pretty. Like, I really enjoy this color story. I'm just gonna keep showing you guys this, but I really love this color story so far. But yeah, so far I'm really liking everything. I feel like everything so far has performed like my other palettes of theirs. Their shimmers are pretty soft, so I did find myself going too heavy with my brush and kind of making dents and taking chunks out of the shadow. So that's something just to kind of pay attention to. Again, probably because I am a little heavy-handed, I like to go a little too fast sometimes. So like, as you can tell, like right in here, there's just some chunks that are missing from some of the shades just because I kind of like stabbed the brush in. Like, that was probably a great face. That's just something kind of to keep in mind, that the shimmer shadows are just a softer formula. So, you know, just to kind of keep that in mind. I mean, it doesn't really bother me that I have, you know, little dents in there because you can kind of smooth it out after using it. So, but like I said, I literally was like having chunks come out. So the shimmer shades are very soft, something to keep in mind. Quality-wise, I feel like the shimmers are gorgeous. They work perfectly with the glitter primer. I'm sure they would perform just fine without one, but I always use one, or almost always use one. So I was really surprised, and, well, not surprised, but I was very pleased with how they worked with the glitter primer. But yeah, the shimmer shades are a little soft. That's just something to keep in mind. But quality-wise, I feel like they were really pigmented. They worked really nicely. I did use a glitter primer, but that's something that I always like to do regardless. So, but with that, they performed perfectly. Like, very smooth, very pigmented, absolutely gorgeous. Like, literally no complaints or problems with them. I felt like they performed exactly how I would want them to, and again, with the glitter primer, they worked really nicely. I feel like they'd be just fine without a glitter primer, but I just always use one, so with that, they were perfect. The mattes were pretty easy to build up. The blue shade, so in my other look that I tried to do, I did use the blue shade. It did seem a little patchy, but it was able to be built up, and other than that, there wasn't really any issues with it. Really like the color story. It's super inspiring. Like, it's just one of those palettes, and of course, I'm a colorful look person. Like, I love colorful looks, but I look at this and I get super inspired. So one thing I will say is, because there are 3 pressed glitters, if you're not a pressed glitter person, you may not want to get this palette, because there are a lot of people that aren't gonna want to use pressed glitters, and honestly, it's kind of one of those things that does make this palette so exciting. And if you took those 3 out, I don't know like how you would feel about it. I guess like if you weren't going to use those, I guess kind of look at everything else and evaluate whether or not you're really still inspired by the color story. I think I would be, but the glitters are they're just fun. I'm not going to use them all the time, but they are fine enough where I feel totally fine with using them around my eye. Like, if I want to use them, these are really pretty glitter choices. Like, they are super pretty. So, like I said, I really do have like a love-hate with glitters. I just feel like brands are just relying on them so much and using them so much right now that it's just kind of like, you know, that's just kind of my feeling on it. But I'm totally going to use these ones. I think these ones are really pretty. I like the colors of these. I like how they fit in with the rest of the color like the color story in this palette. So, I mean, I would definitely keep these in here. But again, if you're not a pressed glitter person, you may want to kind of, you know, maybe you won't want it just because that's 3 shadows out of the 20. Do you think it's going to be worth the price if you already know you're not going to use 3 of those shadows? So that's kind of something to think about, but again, not something that really is bothering me in this palette specifically. But yeah, so far I'm really liking this palette. I really love this color story. Like, I love this color story. I'm interested in doing a 3 looks 1 palette with this palette, so let me know if you guys want to see that. I do have quite a few other things to film and stuff, so, you know, if you guys want to see more looks with this palette, just let me know, because if not, I will probably just keep moving on and go to my other ideas and things to film with now that I finally have a space to film. I'm kind of, for the most part, done moving things around. Give me suggestions if you want to see something with the background, because I really don't know what to do because I have a really small space behind me. I might move somewhere else in the house, but so far this is like the best place. Let me know what you guys want to see content wise. If you want to see more looks with this palette, I definitely would be interested in doing that, so just let me know if that's something you want to see. And yeah, I'm super excited to be back. I missed you guys so much, and I'm just excited to keep making videos and finally be able to do that, because I've been wanting to do this for a month. And yeah, I'm so sorry if you guys didn't hear anything from me, because I apparently can't use the like text feature. I'm sorry if you guys were like, where the hell did you go? What? Why? But I'm here. I'm back. I may not do like 3 videos every week right off the bat, but eventually that is the goal, to do about 3 videos every week. I'm super excited to be back, and yes. So if you guys liked this video and you made it this far, then congratulations and thank you. But anyways, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We'll see you next time.